Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Kabir Considers. In this video, we're going to react to Jim Jeffries' Immigrants in the US. Now, what's he going to, what does he mean? Is he going to basically describe what it's like to be an immigrant? Is he an immigrant? He must be, I'm guessing. So maybe he's going to talk about the challenges that immigrants face moving to the US, the different maybe hoops that they have to jump through to get citizenship. Genuinely don't know, but very intrigued.
Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about American politics while I'm here. You've got your own
He's in England right now, because that's an English telephone box.
issues. Look, I know you broke away from the European Union.
Yeah, Brexit.
I don't understand what happened. No, I know it's mixed, the opinion.
Yeah, big mistake.
I don't know what's going on, but then when I talk to you people, you don't fucking know what's going on either. I've never seen something happen in a country where you're all like, no idea what's happening. There's so many things, do you get rid of the European people who are living here? Or is it in your hospitals, you have 250,000 nurses who are from fucking Spain and France and all that type of bullshit, right? Do you get rid of those people? And if you do that, do you get back all the British people who live in Spain and France and all that? Because I gotta be honest, they're not your best people. Right? You should have a TV show every night called One In, One Out. Okay, well, first of all, we're getting rid of Rosita. Rosita is a nurse who took care of the elderly, who incidentally voted her out.
Irony, isn't it? Irony. Because most of the people that voted for us to leave the EU were older people.
And,
who rely on the NHS more. And the NHS now is on its knees because all of the staff that got kicked out of the country.
And who are we getting back? We're getting Barry! Barry's a cab driver who won 10 grand on a scratchy and moved to Mallorca. Feels like a fair swap you got there. See, immigrants are good. You want to have them, man. You want to have them. Unless they're fucking Mexicans. Oh! I live in LA. You wouldn't believe the problems we have with Mexicans. Fucking dirty Mexicans. They come over the border and they're taking all the good jobs. They can't even speak English. They're taking all the good jobs. I don't know how they do it, but they do. You know, sometimes I look at my son and I think, if only he could pick fruit someday.
Wow.
You wouldn't believe the amount of white people who applied for that job. Oh, they were queued around the fucking block and I was like, get the fuck away from my house. I like explaining everything twice. Hey! But see, this is what Trump reckons. Trump reckons that the Mexicans are coming over the border and they're
Jeez,
I don't know how, though. It just doesn't feel like the opportune time. You're trying to flee a country, you're dehydrated, you're in the desert. That would be the last thing on my mind, but that's because I'm not as sneaky as a Mexican.
Wow. Wow.
They're coming over the border and they're r***ing. Sure, maybe some of them, maybe, but some of every nationality r***s. It's not like it's a Mexican thing. It's not like if you go to a really authentic Mexican restaurant.
Oh my God.
And you walk in with your wife and kids like, this is very nice, this is a lovely restaurant. Then a waiter takes you away from your family. off to the special Mexican closet. You come back out, your ass is like a Japanese flag. You look at your wife and you're like, why do we keep coming here? Every week.
This geezer.
The food wasn't so good. You know, it's not a Mexican thing. Sure, some of them are. Yeah, every nationality. You have British, you have Australian, or Australia wouldn't exist in its current state. There's probably a Canadian, just one fella. Polite bloke, you know, nice bloke. Like you're going for a jog and he just drags you into some bushes like, I'm so sorry about this. I'm so sorry. I won't be too long. I don't want to ruin your day.
Man, when did he film this? Like, if he made this today, I don't think Netflix would touch it with a barge pole or any, to be honest, major like broadcaster.
That's why I do believe there should be a wall. There should be a wall. So that when the Americans run out of health care, they can't crawl over into Canada. I think the Canadians should just make the wall 3 foot high. Just to take the piss. So when the Americans are crawling over because their lungs are filled with coal from getting all their jobs back. Like, who the fuck wants their job back in the coal mine? Like, what the fuck is... They're like, oh, we're gonna get our coal mining jobs back. What the fuck? I didn't even know coal was still a thing. As soon as Trump said it, I'm like, is this a fucking Dickens novel? What the fuck?
To be fair, it's kind of like, yeah, you don't really... Like, coal miner, is that still an actual job? I thought that had all been automated, that they had, like, robots that did that.
And why the fuck do these people deserve to have a job? What, because their dad had a job and their grandfather had the same fucking job and their great-great-grandpappy fucking blah, blah, blah. Have some fucking dreams, you low aspirational fuck. And they say things, they're just like this. They're like, well, if the coal mine shuts down, then our town will shut down. Yeah, fuck your town. Fuck it. Fuck it. In my lifetime, the population of the world has got in town. Take a fucking hint. Now, it's good, no hecklers.
He is just down in the beers. Glug, glug, glug.
Happy. And I don't like the hecklers. I was doing the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland. I have to say Scotland because American people are watching. I was doing the Edinburgh Festival in Scotland, and I was performing in front of about 400 people, and I was doing a routine that I've done in one of my older specials that I don't do anymore about how you have to baptize your children. Because if you don't baptize your children and they die in infancy, then they don't get into heaven. Because God's a good guy, but he does have some rules. And if he lets one dead baby into heaven, then he has to let all the dead babies into heaven. And before you know it, heaven's just filled with fucking dead babies. So I'm on stage kicking dead babies around as you do at work. And this woman in the 4th row, very attractive, but she's in hysterics. She's crying. Her eyes are bawling. And she just stands up. You bastard! And then she just leaves the room just in hysterics, just... Ah! I'm still fucking mid-kick, like this. And then her husband stands up. And he picks up a handbag, and he holds the handbag like all men hold handbags. 2 hands in front of the chest. I'm holding this for someone else, so Anyway, so he picks up the handbag, and he holds it. And we can still hear her screaming.
Oh, my God.
She went out the door, she's screaming. The staff are trying to calm her down. She's screaming. And the husband stands up and he goes, I'm sorry, Jim. I'm sorry, everyone. We were expecting our first child and she miscarried at 7 months.
Oh, man.
And that was 6 weeks ago. And the baby was due this week. So we decided to leave the house for the first time and forget about our problems. and to try to have a laugh.
Disaster.
Anyway, Jim, the first half of the show was really great. And then he just leaves awkwardly like, excuse me, sorry. We can still hear her screaming.
Oh my God.
Men and women in the room are crying their eyes out, which isn't good for comedy. And
No
I'm
shit.
trying to bullshit my way out of it. I'm on stage going, hey, that joke was more about the hypocrisy of religion rather than dead babies per se.
You're not getting out of that one.
And as I'm doing that, in the second row, a Geordie fella from Newcastle, England, he stands up in the second row and he points at me, really angry like this, and he goes, to be fair, she's fucking hot.
What? Man, like some of the subject matter in that set was just wow. I'd love to know when he filmed that, if he's still like that today, or if he's had to kind of like, you know, tone it down a bit. Like, I've got no problem. I love dark humor. Like, I love it. It's my favorite, you know, literally my favorite genre of comedy. But man, like some of the stuff he was saying in the, in the beginning, I was like, wow. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.